All in the wrist, watch how I flip, watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, all in the wrist, I never switch.
Okay, Coach. Well, first opened way back in 1972. There's a look at Arrowhead Stadium, part of the Truman Sports Complex here in Kansas City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Kansas City Chiefs. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This is taken at the 3. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Go! At their own 24-yard line.
They go play fake. Mahomes. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. Looking this time for Woods, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Trying to get it to Woods. Boy, an aggressive play call to start this game. It backfired, but aggressive, no question about that.
Is that one of those statement calls? Trying to let you know that they're going to be aggressive right out of the gate. But that one hung up just a little bit too long. He made a nice play on the ball defensively and was able to pick it off.
And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
On 2nd and 12, Murray, deep ball for Goodwin. That's caught inside the 20. A big play there for KC, 41 yards. Well, that didn't take very long. You mentioned you have to keep him under wraps. Avoid the big play is what you said, and here he makes one in the first quarter.
Yeah, you can't let this become a habit. Otherwise, you know what will happen? They'll flat out take over this game.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. They'll run with a former Viking, Jerick McKinnon. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Second down, McKinnon. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. Third and 2, and here's Murray. That is caught by Williams for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyrell Williams with touchdown number 7 on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio, and it's now a 7-0 game. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
At their own 35-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
Right here, guys. Mike 51. Mike 51. Guys, it's game situation.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that's caught inside the 30. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Well, we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say,
Mahomes hit. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Throwing on second and long. Mahomes. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, but they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
Easy. Smoke. Mike 5-9. Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
On third and long, it's Mahomes. And got a man. It's Woods. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 13-yard line. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. And Woods has it complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Wild Bill. He's checking. Crash. Big Ed.
Snap coming at one, and it's Mahomes. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
What? 15. Yellow. Check 26. Slap. 15. I got him. He's mine. Hey, 58 is the mic. Go 58 to the mic. I got it. My time.
Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Robert Woods, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Extra point good by Catanzaro, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
It's now 2nd and 6.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
All day, every day, any day.
Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
43! 43!
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. Oh, he's looking for a touchdown deep for Woods. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons.
Now, to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline, and now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
Credit the tackle to Darius Slay.
And while they hope to continue this drive, it's really already mission accomplished. They've given enough space now that if they have to punt the ball, they've done so with that first run.
Mike 50, Mike 50. Watch the run, watch the run. It's south, baby, that's baby south. He's crashing.
Here's Murray back near his goal line. Buying time to his left. He's going to take off with it. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. These two teams all tied after 1.
coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Alert flare, alert flare, flare, flare. Deuce, 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 deuce. Switch it, switch it, switch it.
And they will not get the snap off here. This is going to back him up halfway. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Instead of a 3rd and 4, now they have to manage a 3rd and 9 after the delay of game.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. Check, check 43.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw, eluding the pressure right.
As I was watching the play unfold, my eyes immediately went to the referee because I wanted to see, was he going to put those 2 hands over his head, that universal signal for a safety? But it's at the 1-yard line. You know you're playing with fire when you get sacked that close to the goal line.
Here's Bradley Pena now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. So it sails out of bounds close to midfield, and they'll say actually right at midfield. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. From midfield, here's Mahomes. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Will Compton. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Will Compton able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Looking to throw is Mahomes. He hits his target, left side, Watson. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
The Chiefs make over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. On 1st down now, run with McKinnon. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Chandler Jones, a former All-Pro, in on the tackle. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Push him back. Push him back.
Now Murray throwing on 2nd down. He's airing it out for Williams. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. 2nd interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates are going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen.
Switch up. Switch up. 51 Mike. 51. Check, check. Yellow. Check, check, check.
On play action, it's Mahomes. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7.
That's it, baby. You got work.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Mike 51. Mike 51. 51. You ain't going.
On 1st down, Mahomes. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. For the younger fans watching this, you might think Vikings, Chiefs, and not see a lot of history in this game. But this is part of the NFL 100 series because these two teams met way back in Super Bowl IV with the Chiefs winning their first and only Super Bowl title. The Vikings, of course, still yet to win a title, even though they made it 4. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked by Pierre Desir. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Here's Mahomes to throw. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Mahomes now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%. And it's 1st and 10. Mahomes firing complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Mahomes will bring him up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive.
36. Mike, check, 59, 59. 43, 43. Alpha. Mike is 59.
And again, it's Mahomes. And he's got the hook up here. It's Woods. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now here's Mahomes. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 41-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
43, 43, 15. Mike, 59. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Mike, check, 59.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Thomas Davis. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. And a pretty good run, all things considered. Probably would have liked that in the first quarter instead of right now as the clock continues to run. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half.
Focus, defense, focus.
And Williams is going to be stopped short of the yellow line. He did not get there. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. So, boy, that's already the 3rd they burned here. They are out of timeouts now before we've even hit the 4th quarter. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set and ready to go for the second half. 1 touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Give them a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Joker, 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 joker.
They go jet sweep here with Williams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up, wanting to get a good get-off on the snap, jump too quickly.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty. Here's Murray. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chandler Jones, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Second down, Murray sets to throw. Got his man, that's Tyrell Williams. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football, and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
Flush to his right. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. KC last year on fourth down, 12 of 15, third best in the league, and they're going again. They do go for it. It's Murray. And this is incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. So, Charles, talk about a play that could prove pivotal. And I mean pivotal. That decision right there could be really costly.
Without a doubt. You talk about taking a chance there and deciding you're going to go all in, as they like to say. That's exactly what that one was, and it didn't pay off.
Yeah, inside their own territory, game tied, this stage of the contest, boy.
49, check 40, 57. Sponge, no. Yellow. Hey.
On first and 10 is Counter. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Mahomes looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. On first and 10, here's Mahomes. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Check. Check your hot read. Hey, switch gears. 15.
They go play fake. Mahomes. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Robert Quinn. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Check.
On 3rd down, it's Counter. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's 4th down. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on 3rd and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good-sized run.
A really good run, but how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on 4th down. Do you really have a play you believe in, or are you just hopeful? And you got to sell it to the big man before it gets called.
And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And the Chiefs' defense comes up with a stop. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. Now this time, Murray to throw it. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 15, and they take over already 5 yards deep into the red zone at the 15-yard line. On first down, Connor. And this carry terminated at the 8-yard line. Good stick skill showing the power, but just not much room to operate. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Again, a run with Connor. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. A field goal would get them the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. Ito Smith, his first carry. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. We're back now in KC, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs' offense about set to begin this drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Man open, it's Goodwin. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. An outstanding pickup there for the Chiefs. 42 yards. They'll run on 1st down. McKinnon, and not much running room. Down to the 32. Give them maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Murray escaping the pressure right, and that is incomplete here.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. That'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
A fourth quarter miss like that, there is no lonelier feeling than that kicker right now.
As we all know, a lot of these games, they come down to special teams. And when that chance comes, you have to perform in order to help your team get over the top.
Could have tied it. Instead, they remain down 3.
I got you, baby. I got you. I got you. Go, Mike.
They start with a give to Connor. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. From their own 40 to the other 40. The gain of 20 leads to 1st and 10. Now Mahomes on the bootleg. He'll take a shot for the end zone. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive.
Kill.
Murray now on 1st down. He's airing it out for Williams. He's got a man complete. And that one results in 35 yards.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way. Just reached up and pulled it in. Had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, they will run with McKinnon. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City 1st down. Throwing on 1st down is Murray. Flushed out right. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
On play action, it's Murray. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They come out here in the eye. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Murray going to throw. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. That's going to leave him with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Check.
Murray now, 3rd and goal. Eluding the pressure right. That is caught by Williams. Touchdown, Kansas City. Tyrell Williams, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Tavecchio good on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Got a man complete. It's Chris Hogan. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Watch QB drop. Watch QB drop. Go Mike 51. Mike 51.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Open on the left side. This is Valdez-Scantling. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Throwing now is Mahomes. And he's going to find Hogan here, complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A gain there of 21 yards. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Mahomes now on 1st down. They'll set up the screen to Smith. This carry brought to an end at the 8. Good stick skills, but not much room to operate. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left.
Mike 51. Zoom, fellas, let's go.
Mahomes going to throw it here. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Makes the score, Vikings 24, Chiefs 14.
Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Give that sack to Harrison Phillips, the big man.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 33. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Murray to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call, and you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all of that yardage. That would be a big play.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Murray steps away to his left. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Kyler Murray, 1,000-yard rusher as a quarterback in his Heisman campaign at Oklahoma. He's got the first down.
First and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Spot 4. Let's get the ball.
Back to throw. Murray. And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with a clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope.
Tavecchio to add the PAT. It's up and good, and this now becomes a 24-21 ball game. So with 13 on the clock, it's time for an onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hand team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
Oh, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.
So for the Vikings, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Big D to take on the Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.